Hi guys, this is Lada from Astrology.com with your monthly horoscopes for November 2016, shooting from Chill, California. And before I start the monthly horoscope, a quick announcement. Those of you who missed my webinar with Trifon about the astrology of lovers and the astrology of marriage using ancient astrology techniques, which you won't find anywhere. These are ones that we're rediscovering recently, and they work amazingly. Those people knew their astrology in the past. Those people, they created astrology after all. So these are methods that are very different of compatibility, and once you learn this method, you need nothing of the complicated synastry, interaspects, the complicated compatibility techniques we use in the West now. So if you missed that webinar with me and Trifon, here is the link for it. And if you missed my webinar with Marina on astrological configuration, there is a link as well for it. This is about the foundation of your horoscope. You don't need to know any astrology, but in that webinar we explain what is the foundation of your horoscope, what configuration is your horoscope consists of. And that will show your destiny in life. That will show some people have a destiny to succeed in the first part of their life. They have like a horoscope that reminds like an umbrella. Another people have a horoscope that reminds like a boat. They have a destiny to succeed in the second part of their life. Some people have a destiny to succeed in outward, a very out and about in the world through careers, through interactions with others. They have one type of configuration of horoscopes. Figures, they're like figures. Other people have a destiny to kind of succeed in life through you know, through creativity and art, through more personal experiences rather than being out there in the world. So we'll talk about all that. So some people are here to take a break in this lifetime, to take it easy and to just enjoy the rewards from previous past lifetimes, basically. This is like the Grand Trine horoscope. So some people are here to work really hard and to really manifest on the material level and break through old habits like the Grand Square. And we're going to talk all those possible manifestations, configurations. We talked about that. If you missed that webinar, check it, and it's fantastic. The responses are amazing. And for November webinars, I'm doing 2 new webinars. And November is a kind of a grim month, as we know, because November we're more introverted, we're willing to look into the mysteries and secrets and more psychologically in depth. So I'm gonna make a webinar, making a webinar on the first Sunday of, on the 6th of November, the first Sunday, on Saturn. All about Saturn in the natal horoscopes and also Saturn's transits. We're gonna talk what your karma is with Saturn, what your most difficult lessons with Saturn are. We're gonna talk how Saturn behaves in different houses, in different aspects with planets. We're gonna talk when Saturn improves, how you can improve, how you can master Saturn. Saturn is also connected to your career, and how you can really improve those most difficult lessons, which are connected also to past lifetimes. And then on Sunday the 27th of November, I'm doing a webinar for the nodes of the moon, Rahu and Ketu, about past life karma, current life karma, about what the nodes mean specifically in your horoscope, what they mean if they're with other planets, what they mean in certain houses, the esoteric meaning, the Western and the Vedic meaning of those 2 nodes and how they manifest in life. So these are Ketu, Rahu and Saturn are the 3 most complicated and difficult positions in one's horoscope, and we're gonna master them during the month of Scorpio in November, because Scorpio is about diving deep and tackling challenging topics. Hi Scorpio, this is your November 2016 horoscope for anyone who has their Ascendant, Sun and Moon in Scorpio. And happy birthday Scorpios! If it's your Sun in Scorpio, it means that the last 10 days of October, or the last week of October, or the first 23 days of November, you have birthday. And even if it's your Moon in Scorpio or your Ascendant in Scorpio, it's a renewal. It's a period of renewal, and wherever the Sun passes, it imbues us with energy and new vitality and new ideas. The Sun is God, is the King. The Sun is always giving us. The Sun is the new creative inspirations we get. The Sun is God coming in infusing us and burning us with new ideas and revitalizing us on the physical, on the psychological, astral level. So if you've been feeling, whether it's your, especially if it's your sun in Scorpio, but even your ascendant or moon, if the last month you've been feeling a little bit more like less energized, more tired, maybe less motivated, more sensitive, you've been doing some reconsidering, some reevaluations, because when the sun is in the 12th house from your sun, from a moon, or even the ascendant to a lesser degree, it's time for when the vitality is a little bit withdrawn, when the vitality is a little bit kind of invisible, which is the 12th house, which is the vitality is focused more on the spiritual, on the psychological matters, so it feels like it's getting drained in the energy of our subconscious. But not to worry, because Jupiter is already in November, sorry, not Jupiter, but the Sun, the great energizer, it's like your personal spring, so to say. Okay, it might be autumn for most of the world in the northern hemisphere, but for Scorpios, even if it's your ascendant or moon to a lesser degree, now for Scorpios, this is your personal spring of new beginnings, when new ideas are starting to blossom up. Imagine the season of spring. What happens? Everything starts blooming, blossoming, you're infused with new energy in life. Well, that's a similar process happening in you. So even if you've been feeling a bit drained or less motivated, more emotional, from November you start feeling charged up, especially from the 1st of November, when is the new moon in Scorpio. So female and male, moon and sun, mother and father join together in your sign Scorpio to create new life, to create, well, it's like the birthing and putting of new seeds. So it's kind of your energy starts growing, new ideas start coming for the next 2 weeks, in the first 2 weeks of November, while the moon is still growing. And make sure, it's almost like a program is being imprinted in your astral body for the next 12 months, if it's your sun in Scorpio. To a lesser degree, ascendant and moon, I always notice that when the sun transits my ascendant or moon, it revitalizes me, gives me more energy, and brings some new small beginnings of sort, maybe some small projects that I'll be working, and new ideas that on projects that I'll be working for a month or two. But when it's the sun in Scorpio, means you're born, you know, in November or part of October, then the revitalization is on a more powerful level. It takes like almost 12 months to unfold this new program. So I always advise people, look for signs around your birthday. Look for, or even around the time the sun is transiting your ascendant degree or moon degree in Scorpio, look for signs. Look for, because it's like the universe is giving you in a small compacted time within 24 hours, like a preview of the next 12 months, or the preview of the next important things that will happen in your life. And it's not necessarily that you'll see it in a very you know, direct way. It's going to be in some symbolic way. Maybe if you're single and now the sun is in Scorpio, especially the first 2 weeks of November, you might, on the day, especially around your birthday, you might keep seeing happy couples, or you might see a white cat, which is an indication of meeting your soulmate, or usually a white animal is an indication of meeting a soulmate of some sort, you know. Or you might, if you're trying to get conceived and you keep seeing babies, you know, it might give you an indication this will happen. Or if you lose your key around that time, it might mean that doors will get a bit locked for you over the next something. It's more kind of it's not literal interpretation, but it's omens. Look for omens and check them online what they mean, because God is trying to communicate with you. If you get very angry and frustrated around that time, well, it might be the next few weeks, the next few months might be you're gonna have a few more complications. And especially try to consciously affect that time, the first 2 weeks of November, or the time around your birthday, Scorpios. If it's your ascendant or moon in Scorpio, just the first 2 weeks of November, try to consciously impact and try to be in a positive mood and not allow things to impact you negatively, because it's kind of, as I said, is the program being imprinted on your astral body from the planets, from the sun, our God, for the solar system. So try to, especially around the day of your birthday, the day before and after, try to, if something brings you down, to uplift yourself, which shows that you have the power over the next year, even if there are more complicated situations in your life, to uplift yourself in some way, and to with personal willpower to sort out those matters. So don't succumb to negativity, to self-pity and stuff like that, like some people do on their birthday. Try to be as upbeat, and to any ideas that come to you, grasp them. And perfect time for Scorpios, all Scorpios, Sun, Moon or Ascendant, in the first 2 weeks of November, to start new projects, to start new activities. The moon is growing. Especially around the new moon, new seeds of ideas can be imprinted on you. Act on them. Fantastic time, Scorpio. Go after them. It might take like 6 months or a whole year to make them, to see them materialize, but make the first step now when the sun is in your sign, and revitalizing and bringing this divine energy of life to you. And you know, the sun brings intelligence. In ancient astrology, the sun is the intelligence. Mercury is not the intelligence. Mercury is the logical brain through which we perceive the 5 senses, and we make sense of that information. Real intelligence is solar. It's kind of, they say, the esoteric texts say that each ray of the sun brings a different being with it of high intelligence, angelic intellect, intelligent power and creative power. So use that. This is what the sun is doing. It's like your sunrise for you Scorpios. And Mercury is also till the 13th of November in your sign as well, Scorpio. So Mercury makes you craftier while it's in your sign, allows you to be better communicators for the first 13 days of November and the last 10 days of, I would say the last week or 10 days of October as well, while Mercury is also in Scorpio. But the first 13 days of Scorpio of November, Mercury is in your sign. Mercury's communication skills. You might be much more able to express your skills. Say you're good at writing or speaking, or you're good at presentation, whatever it is, you will be asked to perform that skill that you've learned with your, you learn through you know, to do through practice. You'll be asked to use it, and you'll be able to perform in a powerful way and to make an impact. If you have important conversations, and if you want to put your point of view across, if you want to present it in the most colorful way with the most impact, do it till the 13th of November, while Mercury is still in your sign. Some important conversations Mercury can bring to you as well. And there might be more friends around you. Mercury rules your 11th house, Scorpio, of your social life, colleagues, friends, people in your environment as well. So it's a social planet, particularly for you Scorpios. And make sure that you use that time. You might be just more active socially in some way till the middle of the month. You might be more witty as well. You might be more able to communicate better in some ways, and even more organized, because Mercury is a planet of planning and organization. If you're in any career which needs administrative work, planning, marketing, management work, which needs attention to detail, or which needs some kind of investigation of information, because after all you're Scorpio, fantastic. Some kind of research, fantastic till the middle of, you know, November. And then Mercury moves into your 2nd house from the middle of November in Sagittarius, helps you put in order and arrange and organize and plan matters of practical nature, maybe possessions, some assets, some resources, you know, put order, organize them, pay more attention to details there, which is all Mercury qualities, you know. And 2nd house is money. Let's see where Venus is. For a big part, for the first 13 days of November, Venus is in your 2nd house, Scorpio. So it means that the first 13 days of November, while also the sun, the moon is growing, you're starting new beginnings, new ideas, Mercury is making you more communicative. At the same time, Venus is in your 2nd house of finances. So it can be also, you can gain something that you've always wanted. Say a nice pair of shoes. 2nd house rules our possessions. Venus is beautiful things. And you can even be a bit more reckless, because Venus is in Sagittarius, a sign that is like doesn't care so much about it just acts on the spur of the moment through inspiration. It gets excited, so like you can do some purchase on the spur of the moment, and it's a lucky sign, Sagittarius, so it's something you will probably enjoy a lot, even if you feel, oh my god, why am I splurging like that? But it's kind of, is it that bike you always wanted, or maybe that beautiful dress you wanted to get for a while, or this nice pair of shoes, or you know, this something that you buy that you consider valuable. It doesn't have to be an object either. It may be something, whatever your value system is, something of higher knowledge, for example, get a course or whatever, but it's something that pleases you, that pampers you in some way, that you're able to get it. And even some kind of presents people can get when Venus is in the second house. If you have your own business, maybe for a week, Venus can increase the income, facilitate the finances there, you know, and yeah, so it's kind of good for finances, for matters of material, tangible nature, because whatever Venus is, we find joy there. And then Venus moves into your third house, Scorpio, into Capricorn from the 13th of November. So, and actually Venus rules your relationships, by the way. So when it comes to relationship, the first 13 days, the planet of relationships is in your second house. So maybe from a business partner, from a client, or from your marriage partner, from a boyfriend or girlfriend, you can get something of pleasure, something that you consider valuable and enjoy. The Lord of the second is in, the Lord of the seventh is in the second. And then and your relationships can feel more passionate, excitable, more adventurous, because Venus is in Sagittarius the first 13 days of November. And Sagittarius is the sign, daredevil sign, that is just, oh, I want the adventure, I don't care. And then Venus goes into Capricorn, so you kind of approach relationship with a more sober mind from the 13th of November to the end of the month, with a more practical slant of mind, and you become, and possibly your partners or relationship partners, marriage partners, business partners, clients can become more strict, can become more demanding, which is more Capricorn in energy, can require practical results from you, and communications, especially with others, because Venus rules other people in your life, it's in the third house of communication, can increase considerably, but they might be of more practical nature, of nature that is about discussing business or work or order of some sort or structures of some sort, more important conversations that you lead with others on one-to-one basis. And it's kind of the information flow increases around you, Capricorn, but it has a more serious slant, it has a more business slant of mind, because Venus is in Capricorn. And your partners might feel a bit more, you know, because Venus rules partnerships, any kind of partnership, people that you work on a one-to-one basis, your partners, very close friends as well sometimes, your business partners. So they might become more communicative, but also more Saturnian, more Capricorn, like maybe more communications with older and more experienced people of some sort, or more communications on a serious topic as well, or the partners can be more business minded and demand from you certain things, which is Capricorn, you know. Okay, and it's a good time to put, you'll be helped in some way to put more discipline, Capricorn, into learning new skills, and you'll be facilitated into that because Venus helps, and someone can help you learn those new skills. Venus is the Lord of the seventh house. Venus also is the Lord of your 12th house, that's another matter. So it's kind of 12th house expenses. So that's why the first part of the month till the 13th, we can splurge on things that we find enjoyable. Expenses into the house of money, into an excitable sign like Sagittarius, but we kind of like it. You know, you would like it. You'll be like, okay, it's an expense, but it's for something beautiful. Or you might make an expense about a partner, for example, and for something like that. Okay, but then Venus is in the third house, rules the seventh, and third house is learning new skills as well, and it's communicating. Venus helps you make a point through with more charm and diplomacy in a practical, rational way. Helps you learn new things more through being shown. Experimenting, being shown in a practical way how to do something. Maybe some good teacher can help in that respect as well. So this is what the second month is very good for. It also can be very good for business trips of some sort, or any kind of trips, third houses trips, or any kind of communications. Venus will help improve relationships with siblings, with co-workers, with teammates. Venus in the third house. You know, even if they have a bit more serious tone, it still Venus facilitates and improves those. It brings more structure, rationality in such relationships. Okay, then you have your planet. Oh, Mars. Scorpio is ruled by Mars traditionally, which is going into, from the 10th of November, it's going into Aquarius. So it's kind of, for Scorpio, might feel like clashing energy from the 10th of Aquarius, for the 10th of November till around a month and a half, which happens once every 2.5 years, that the planet that rules you goes into Aquarius, which for Scorpio is the 4th house. So first of all, you put a lot of energies. You're Mars. So wherever Mars goes, this is where you put lots of energy. You're going to be putting lots of energy in regards to your personal life. You might be, for example, decide to make some renovations, fix something in your home, because Mars is physical energy, fixing, improving something. There might be something at home that breaks, like the roof or whatever that you need to fix. And Mars can bring those little crisis situations, but it also brings you the kind of the go-getting energy to go confront it and fix it. They might explode some kind of little confrontation, but again, it's going to be a short one. It's not going to ruin your life or anything, or be there for a long time. But if there's already some kind of inflamed relationship with parents, with people from a family, people in your environment where you live, this can explode a little bit from the 10th of November till for a big part of December as well. So you kind of have to be a little bit more rational. Thankfully, Mars is in Aquarius, which is not a spontaneous sign where we go and do crazy stuff, but we can be more sharp with the words. So use that Venus in the 3rd house to be more diplomatic with your communications and more rational. But at the same time, Mars in the 4th house can kind of bubble to the surface some problems which should be communicated and talked out. Mars is in Aquarius, which is a communication. So if any little crisis appear with your family, or in regards to property, or in regards to your personal life, deal with them rationally, which is Aquarius. Try and discuss it, communicate it, be impartial. And if there is some problem at home, just kind of again with your mind solve these matters, you know. But it might be you can use this energy very productively. For example, how is that? For example, if you can do some fixing around the home, you can do some repairs, you can do some furniture, changing furniture, whatever, which requires energy. Or you can be active with your members of your family somehow. You can be more active at home. I've seen people when Mars goes in their 4th house, they start like moving furniture around sometimes. Or others become more restless emotionally, because 4th house rules our emotional world. So they become more antsy, they want to, you know, kind of at home, they can become a bit more irritable, they want to, and overall emotionally they can become a bit more irritable and more reactive. But thankfully Mars is in a sign that is not very reactive, which is Aquarius. Might be reactive with words, but it's not some kind of a reckless sign, Aquarius. But still, you know, it's good for you to remember not to overheat, not to overreact when it comes to people pressing your buttons emotionally in some way. Okay, but you can use it for relocation, you can use it for renovations at home, you can use it to sort out some conflict with near and dear people in some way as well. So that's the positive way this energy can be used for about a month and a half. Okay, what else is happening, Scorpios? I don't think neither Mars is affecting you, nor Jupiter currently, so I don't know, that's about it. And by the way, when Mars, the planet that rules you, is in the sign of Aquarius, you become more communicative as well from the 10th of October. And you become less intense, because Scorpio is such an intense sign, but when the planet that rules you, Mars, goes into an air sign, actually the energy might not feel so natural to you, because it's much more detached, but it gives you for about every 2.5 years, when your planet goes into the detached and very objective sign. And Scorpio is not objective. Scorpio is black or white. Scorpio is like, if you hurt me, I can't look at you, you know, like anything you do is negative for me. But if when it goes into Aquarius, Scorpios kind of, when the planet goes into Aquarius for 2.5 months, Scorpio kind of take a step back and kind of are able to more objectively assess the situation. And are able to be a bit more impartial and actually counsel with friends or other independent factors which are not so involved in their life or into their personal feelings, can help them a lot gain the bigger perspective, or help them a lot kind of withdraw and disconnect a little bit from this turbulency of emotions. That's what's usually in Scorpio, even though they don't see it, and to see it from a higher perspective, not even higher perspective, more objective, impartial perspective. So that's what I see for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that horoscope, and I will see you next month for December. And we'll be making very soon, me and Marina, the yearly horoscopes. Wow, that would be interesting. So thank you so much, and I will see you next month.